want to get an ice cream soda with me before you have to go to your house?
Well, thank you. I would.
Hello, George. Emily. What do you have? Why, Emily, whatever have you been crying about?
Oh, she just got off a fright, Mr. Morgan. She almost got hit by that hardware store wagon. Oh, everybody says that Tom Huckins drives like a crazy man.
If you just sit down and have a glass of water, Emily, you'll look all shook up. I tell you, you gotta look both ways before you cross Main Street these days. Gets worse every year. Apparently they're gonna bring in some of those. Never mind about that. Yeah, drink that up. Well, now what do you have?
I'll have a strawberry frosty.
Oh, no. 2 ice cream sodas, please, Mr. Morgan.
2 strawberry ice cream sodas coming right up. You know, I can remember when a dog would go to sleep in the middle of Main Street and nothing be along to disturb him. You know, the state inspector was in here yesterday. And they're going to bring in some of those automobiles. Best thing to do is just stay at home. Well, there you are. Enjoy.
George, they're so expensive.
No, don't you think about that. We're celebrating our election. And you know what else I'm celebrating, Emily?
No.
I'm celebrating that I have a friend who tells me things that ought to be told me.
Oh, George, please don't think of that. I don't know why I said it.
No. You stick to it, Emily. But you'll see. I'll change so fast, though. You bet I'll change. And, Emily, something I wanted to ask you.
Yes?
Emily, if I do go away to State Agriculture College next year, would you write me a letter once in a while?
I certainly will. I certainly will, George. You know, George, it certainly seems like being away for years, maybe you'd get out of touch with things. Maybe Grover's Corners wouldn't be so important. I mean, it's not a very big place when you think of all New Hampshire. But I think it's a nice town.
There isn't a day that would go by when I wouldn't want to know everything that's happened here, Emily. I know that's true.
Well, I'll try to keep my letters interesting.
You know, Emily, every time I meet a farmer, I ask him if he thinks it's important to go to agriculture college to be a good farmer.
Why, George?
Yeah. Some of them say that it's even a waste of time. You can get all those things you need anyways out of those pamphlets that the government sends out. And my uncle, he's getting old. He's about ready for me to start taking over the farm tomorrow, if I could.
My.
And like you say, being away all that time, in new places, meeting new people. Gosh, if anything like that can happen, I don't want to go away. Emily, I feel that you're as good a friend that I've got. I don't need to go away to new places to meet new people.
But George, maybe it's very important for you to go to those other towns, learn about cattle judging and soils and those sort of things. I don't know.
Emily, I'm going to make up my mind right now. I won't go. I'll talk to Pa about it tonight.
But George, I don't see why you have to decide right now. It's a whole year away.
Emily, what you said was right about that fault in my character. But there was one thing wrong, Ed. That was when you said for a year I hadn't been noticing anybody. Well, you, for example, how you said you were watching me when I was doing everything. Well, I was doing the same with you all the time. I always made sure who you were sitting next to on the bleachers, where you were at. For 3 days now, I've tried to walk home with you, but something's always gotten in the way. Just yesterday, I was standing against that back wall over there. you walked in with Miss Corcoran.
George, life's awful funny. How could I do
Listen,
that?
Emily, I want to tell you the real reason I'm not going to college next year. I feel that once you found somebody that you're very fond of, someone who's fond of you as well, that cares enough about you, to talk to you about your character, well, I feel that's just as important as college is. That's what I think.
I think it's awfully important too.
Emily,
Yes, George?
Emily, if I do make a big change, would you be, I mean, could you be?
I am now, George. I always have been.
So, I guess this is a pretty important conversation we're having.
Yes, yes.
Wait just a minute. I'll walk you home in a second. Mr. Morgan, I'll have to go home to get the money to pay for these.
George Gibbs, you don't mean to tell me that you came
Yes,
here?
but I had my reasons. Look, here, take my gold watch. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Keep your watch, George. I'll trust you. I'll trust you 10 years. Not a day over. Got all the way to shop, Emily.
Yes, thank you, Miss Morgan. It is nothing.
I'm ready.